Tonight, we report on the result of an appeal for a man convicted of hurting a child and the fires that burned north of Soap Lake. What's going on in sports, Bob?
A Warden Cowpoke returns from the National Junior High Rodeo, and the Twins blow out the Mariners. Here's a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
It was another hot one out there this afternoon with temperatures well into the 90s. In a few minutes, I will let you know for how much longer the heat will continue.
I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
An appeal was rejected for a man who burned his 1-year-old child in the bath. Gary Duggar appealed a jury's guilty verdict for the charge of assault of a child in the 3rd degree because the instructions to the jury did not establish he was an adult or that the victim was a child. The 41-year-old Soap Lake resident wanted a new trial. The Washington State Court of Appeals disagreed and ruled against him because he admitted his age and the victim's age in court. In January 2012, Duggar was taking care of 3 children when his 1-year-old son had diarrhea. Police and medical staff believe Duggar placed the child in a hot bath, which caused 2nd-degree burns. The jury convicted Duggar of assault of a child in the 3rd degree, and he was sentenced to serve 6 months in jail. A building in Soap Lake is being rebuilt after strong winds knocked it over. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
What collapsed like a house of cards in mid-March is going back up again in Soap Lake. Owner and builder Greg Babick said he was rebuilding the same 3,600 square foot commercial structure that high winds off Soap Lake destroyed. No one was hurt when the building collapsed, while Babick helplessly watched from across the street. The first of the new framed walls went up this week on the building at Daisy Street and 2nd Avenue Northeast. Soap Lake City Planner Darrell Piercy said there were no changes in the structure's plans. He said Babick plans to secure the support structures this time around so wind cannot damage the building again. Piercy said the building collapsed because it had not yet been secured with so-called hurricane clips connecting the walls to the roof. The city planner said the building could support up to 4 retail spaces depending on leases. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thank you, Jeff. Primary ballots are being mailed out next week. The 18-day voting period for the August primary starts on July 18th and ends on August 5th. Voters will get to have their choice on selecting candidates in 2 races. The largest race is to replace Representative Doc Hastings, who represent the 4th District. People will get their choice of 13 candidates. The other race is a 3-candidate race for Grant County Assessor. People should receive their ballots in the mail. The ballots can either be returned in the mail or dropped off at the Grant County Auditor's Office Elections Department on the 2nd floor of the Grant County Courthouse. A pair of fires north of Soap Lake helped add more smoke to northern Grant County. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Grant County Fire District 7 firefighters were busy late Wednesday afternoon and evening when 2 grass and brush fires broke out back to back. Fire District 7 Chief Kirk Shepard said the first fire of an unknown cause ignited just west of the caretaker's home at Valley View Memorial Park at State Route 28 and High Hill Road. 3 wildland firefighting tanker trucks and 4 firefighters were on the scene shortly after the call at 3:30 p.m. They contained the 2-acre grassland blaze in about 2 hours. There was no fire damage to the adjacent home or property, and the fire was not determined to be suspicious. Shortly after that fire, another blaze broke out near the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad trestle that runs over State Route 17 south of State Route 28. Shepard said there was no damage to the railroad tracks or trestle. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thank you, Jeff. Now let's take a look at people currently being sought out by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.